You must have heard at least one of these three versions of the Shahadah. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله with noon pronounced clearly. Or أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله with the noon fused with the lam. Or أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله with shaddah on the noon. So which of the three is the correct one? Well, first of all, let's talk about the third version, the one with shaddah. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. While it is certainly correct in meaning and in grammar, it is not the version that the Prophet, peace be upon him, taught us, and the one that is reported in the authentic hadith as the declaration of faith, as the first pillar of Islam. So when using the Shahadah in any form of ibadah, you should not add Shaddah or anything to it. So the third version isn't it. What about the first and the second one? Well, the first one with idgham, so the clear pronunciation of the noon, أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله, is considered a pronunciation mistake. It is not how Arabs speak, nor what the Arabic language is. That's why the one which the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, most definitely pronounced is the one with idgham. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. And here I gotta draw your attention to something very important. There are actually two ways in which you can write the version with idgham. One with actually spelling out the noon but fusing it with the lam, and one without the noon at all. But it doesn't really matter whether you write it like this with the noon or like that with n and la fused into one word. The important thing is to pronounce it with idgham, Allah. So it is written in two ways and both are equally correct. Although you will see the first version of the Shahadah written more often, the fused particle Allah is more common in Arabic and in the Quran. So for example, here these are two different ayat that are pronounced exactly the same, at least the first two words. وَأَلَّا تَعْلُوا عَلَى اللَّهِ أَلَّا تَعْلُوا عَلَيَّ وَأْتُونِي مُسْلِمِينَ. So write it like this or like that. What matters is that you don't put shaddah and always apply idgham. Now, for the most frequently asked questions on that topic. Number 1. Why are we applying Tajweed rules on the Shahadah? It is not Quran. Well, as it happens, Tajweed contains the proper Arabic pronunciation rules. One of these rules is Idgham, which is normally used in regular Arabic speech, and so ignoring it is a mistake. Much like when pronouncing this word and saying hour or doubt with an H or a B. While of course I can understand what you're saying if you pronounce it like that, but it is still not the right way to pronounce it. Therefore, we must always follow the pronunciation rules and skip the silent letter. And in Arabic it is exactly the same way. Having said that, some other Tajweed rules are indeed unique to the Quran, and they are not meant to be applied on Arabic. But idgham is not one of them, and I elaborated more on that topic in this lesson. So check it out if you want to learn more. The second question is, I have been using the wrong form of the Shahadah in my prayer, either by saying an la or by adding the shaddah on the noon. An la. Are my prayers then invalid? Well, certainly not. There is a fatwa which I linked in the description of this video on that matter exactly. But the bottom line is, if you've been making this mistake, your prayer is valid and it is inshallah accepted, since the meaning has not been changed. Number 3. How is it that we shouldn't use أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله, while we have in the Quran فاعلم أنه لا إله إلا الله. Well, it is true that this is indeed an ayah in the Quran, but this is not the full form of the Shahadah. It is an imperative sentence that requires the emphasis and the addition of ضمير الشأن, which is mentioned here. So the sentence with this grammar necessitates this structure. Secondly, we never said that the use of anna with shadda is grammatically wrong, but it is just that it is not the one that was used and taught by the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. Number 4. In many videos we see online for people dictating shahada to new Muslims, they pronounce a clear noon when saying the shahada. Is that then valid?
Say أشهد
أشهد
أن
أن
لا
لا
إله
إله
إلا
إلا
الله.
Well, of course, this is 100% correct and valid. The reason why we have idgham is that we have two words that are connected in pronunciation. If they are separated in the speech, or in other words, we say one word and then stop, then there is no reason for idgham or the letter fusion. This is what mostly happens when teaching someone the shahada for the very first time, saying every word one by one and pausing, giving the other person the chance to imitate what he had heard. So saying an, la is perfectly fine because you separated the two words, so there is no reason for idgham to exist in this case. Finally, and if you made it this far into the video, here is a bonus. In the second half of the shahada, we also have another similar case. While it is not as a common mistake, it still does happen, which is pronouncing a clear noon on the tanween of the name Muhammadah and saying أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله, while there should also be idgham in this case between the noon of tanween and the ra which follows the word. So we say Muhammadar Rasulullah. And so الشهادتين together would be أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my latest books with their video courses if you want to learn the Quran in Arabic or properly learn its Tajweed. Check out the links in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, inshallah.